Good morning, this is Shelby Law with the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Friday, July 3rd, 2015. The main fire potential impact for the next 3 to 5 days is for today, with drier air remaining in place over Idaho and portions of northern and western Utah. We saw a fair amount of lightning activity across the whole state of Nevada yesterday, and some lightning activity over far southwestern Utah, with generally sunny skies elsewhere across the region. These storms were accompanied by a little bit of precipitation with lighter amounts over the northeast corner of Nevada. Fire activity was pretty spotty across much of the area, with the largest fire occurring over north-central Nevada. This morning's water vapor imagery shows the center of the high pressure currently located over northern Nevada. This is bringing in that drier northwest flow into Idaho and portions of northern and central Utah. Over the next few days, we'll see the center of the high transition further east and south, allowing moisture to return up into the central and northern portions of the Great Basin. Fire potential has decreased somewhat over the last week as moisture has moved into the Great Basin. We still have a few dry spots out there, particularly over western Idaho. Temperatures are still quite warm today across the Great Basin. Today will pretty much be our last really hot day across the area as the high transitions out of the Great Basin. And we'll see another round of thunderstorms over Nevada and southern Utah today. Tomorrow we'll see thunderstorms return to Utah as the high pressure moves over towards the Four Corners area. These thunderstorms will generally be on the wet side. Temperatures will be decreasing, with only a few areas hitting 100 degrees, and that should be our last 100-degree day for a few days anyway. Thunderstorms will begin to increase tomorrow, especially over Utah and even up into far southern Idaho, and we may even see some severe thunderstorms in portions of eastern Nevada. More of the same is expected on Sunday, with wet thunderstorms across much of the Great Basin, particularly Utah, eastern Nevada, and up into eastern Idaho and western Wyoming. Western Idaho may stay on the edge of some of that moisture. Temperatures will begin to come back down into the 90s region-wide. On Monday, wet afternoon thunderstorms are expected across much of those same areas. On Tuesday, drier southwest flow returns to the southern portions of the Great Basin, limiting thunderstorm activity there. This is caused by the little low pressure off the California coast. This dry air intrusion will continue on Wednesday, spreading a little bit further northward into central portions of the Great Basin. And by Thursday, our thunderstorm coverage should really be decreasing across much of the area, with a return of low relative humidities and some warming temperatures. Forecast precipitation amounts for today are quite low, with the best chances occurring over western and central Nevada. But as we look through the next week, precipitation chances are pretty good across much of the area, especially northern and central Nevada, Utah, eastern Idaho, and western Wyoming. It does look like southern Nevada and western Idaho are going to stay on the dry side. A few areas are really standing out as having the higher fire danger for the time of year, and that's especially the west central Idaho mountains, where we're setting records for the time of year. Further north, up into the northern Rockies, we're seeing more of these trends being broken as well. However, further south across the Great Basin, our ERCs are much closer to normal and in many cases still below normal for the time of year. Far northwestern Nevada is above normal for the time of year, but still below any record levels. And then further south and east over southern Nevada and Utah, those trends really never made it much above normal, and with the recent precipitation that we've seen, those values are starting to come back down. So overall, our fire danger is not overwhelmingly high, and we're seeing that in our fire activity. For current sampled fuel moistures across the area in McCall, 1,000 hours are between normal and the historical lows. Juniper values are still above normal across much of Utah and Nevada. The Tweedy site down on the Arizona Strip for sagebrush is measuring really close to the all-time record low, and we have seen some fire activity down there. The extended forecast going into the middle of July is calling for near normal temperatures, which is certainly a change from what we've seen the last week, and also perhaps some above normal precipitation across northern Nevada and Idaho. Normally this time of year we do see monsoonal moisture moving up into the southern portions of the Great Basin, and so we do expect to see some of that, just perhaps not above normal amounts. This concludes today's fire potential briefing. Please check back tomorrow for the latest updates.